All right, okay. Hey, thanks for coming back. This weekend I saw Brick Mansion starring Paul Walker, The RZA, and Gucci Boy. Thank God there is a movie that has finally come out with Gucci Boy in it. Thank God. Oh.
With a K review.
It's VIC?
No, it's with a K.
Oh.
So Brick Mansions is actually based off the Bayview 13 movie, or actually District 13 movie that came out in 2004. And I actually got to see that back in 2004 because it was produced by one of my favorite directors, Luc Besson. And Luc Besson, to me, he has like his older stuff is like really awesome. You know, like The Fifth Element, which is one of my favorite movies. He really has that type of like energy and excitement in his movies that really make them fun to watch, like the Transporter series. But that movie, like District 13, is like its own thing. And this movie, and I really hate to be one of those guys, you know, like when I had that Total Recall movie, how I completely trashed that because it was warranted. That's gonna sit here and tell you like the original was better and how much crappier this one is. And I like tried to go see this movie in like its own element because I really wanted to like this movie. Not because, you know, it's like Paul Walker's actually his last movie, but because I thought maybe it was gonna be one of those really stupid movies that you could just turn your brain off with. And unfortunately, yeah. You're going to like this. With that first movie, District 13, it really had a lot of really cool action elements. You had David Bell, who was really in his prime. And this guy, I want you guys to know, everybody's been saying like he's been doing all this parkour stuff. That is true. But David Bell is the originator of it. He actually like started all of this. He is the original guy who started parkouring, which I thought is pretty awesome. If you want to have anybody in a movie who's going to do parkour, it's going to be David Bell because he's just flipping awesome, pun intended. In the first movie, it was really cool because he was the parkour guy, and then you had the other guy who was like this little short bald guy, and actually he's like 5'9", and I can't remember his name offhand, but like he is really awesome in that movie because David Bell does all the, you know, flipping stuff, and he is like the major martial artist, and that's what's established right at the beginning of the movie when they actually meet. And unfortunately, Mr. Paul Walker, not so much. Now, early in the movie, Paul Walker does have like some, you know, fight scenes, but a lot of it is really not like it was in the first one. Like that guy in the first one was doing like jumping kicks, and he was like an actual martial artist. He was actually in Kiss of the Dragon. If you saw that way back when with Jet Li, he was like that really short guy, and I think they like pair him with people who are like 7 feet tall because he was one of the twins, and it really looked like he's like 5 feet tall. I'm not 5 foot tall, but he looked like he was. On camera, I'm actually 6 feet, trust me. Anyway, in the beginning, it was really cool because you see David Bell, he's doing all these flips around everywhere, and that's pretty awesome. But as soon as Paul Walker comes in, you're like, okay, is Paul Walker going to be like this really, you know, angry character, and he's going to just go for it and do what he wants to do and just kind of go all out because he's the guy that can solve the problems? And the answer to that is no. And again, please understand that I don't want to give this review as a bad review of this movie because this is Paul Walker's final film. It kind of, you know, he's not the world's greatest actor, and I like the Fast and Furious movies myself, but to be honest, that was his claim to fame. You know, Running Scared was one of my favorite ones of his because that's when I thought he was actually doing some really good acting. And in this movie, he tries really, 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 really hard to act good in this movie, and he's one of the best actors. In fact, he's the best actor, and the one that's kind of under him is this woman who plays Razor, and like she's this weird goth lesbian. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But anyway, she was one of the people in this movie that I thought was like a better villain than the RZA. Like in the movie, the RZA, I kid you not, at the end, he sounded like he had a New Orleans accent. Kind of like, you know how Gambit in X-Men has his accent? The RZA, out of nowhere in the movie, like has this like sentence where he's like, "Come on, the woman." Like that's really bad. Oh, God. But what I'm saying is that he tries to have that accent like towards the end of the movie. Like he just developed it out of nowhere. And in the movie, there's a lot of stuff that honestly comes out of nowhere. You know, like all the action that happened. Like every time there's an action scene, like it's like action, slow-mo, action, slow-mo. And it was terrible. It was like, it was so fast and so choppy, you couldn't actually see what was happening because the camera never pulled back enough to actually for you to see the action. And I thought Lola and Razor were going to have this really knockdown fight because you see that one thing with her like swinging the chain, and it doesn't. That is the shit-tacular fight. It was crap. And that's the thing, is like this whole movie is really kind of a caricature movie of all these characters. In the first movie, it moved really fast, but you actually got to see a lot of the action. David Bell did a great job, and the guy who played Damien in that movie, he did a really good job with the martial arts. And in this one, you just kind of have Paul Walker as just kind of a cop who can flip people over his shoulders. It's not anything weird or anything awesome. It's just kind of normal for Paul Walker. So in the end, what I'm going to have to say about this movie is that it had a lot of potential to really try to live up to that first movie. And even without comparing it to that first movie, by itself, it's just not that good. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to give this movie a 1K, and that is specifically for Paul Walker, because he has tried so hard in the movie business, and that he's given us the Fast and Furious movies, which I really enjoy going to see, and they're just really cool, and that's why I'm giving it that 1K review. Please don't go see this one in theaters, and just rent it for like $1 when it comes out if you want to see one of Paul Walker's final films. And also, just a really quick thing, Mr. RZA, if you could please stop acting and stop directing movies. You are a wonderful hip-hop artist, but you are a terrible actor. Please don't kill me. And thanks, guys, for watching my show. I do appreciate all the viewers, subscribers do I have. Make sure to click on the K right here if you want to subscribe to my channel. Click up here if you want to see any of my past reviews. You know what? W-A-K, whack, with a K. Whack one out in the comments down there. You know what? Let me know, what do you think is Paul Walker's best movie, and what do you think is his worst movie? And do you like the Fast and Furious 7, thing where they're going to digitize him into the movie, which I honestly think, just let the guy go, but Hollywood, money. But anyway, never forget, if you guys don't like what you're watching, you can always turn it off. But thank you for coming back and seeing me. Bet.